Welcome back. Hey T, how are you?
I am okay. As you already know, I'm having some
Having technical
technical
difficult.
difficulties today. So I
I
just
saw.
want everybody to bear with me today. Like getting here tonight was a struggle, but we're here.
Yes.
And I
So
have
hello,
extra exciting news.
great. So hello and welcome again to the Her Network on channel 251, Zingo TV. Please remember to download both the Barn Burner and Zingo TV in the respective iOS apps and Android devices while you're downloading. Please rate and leave us a comment. Both apps, rare word, is free. Zingo TV is also available on Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Roku TV Sticks, and all smart TVs from 2006 forward. Hopefully, you had a good lockdown Black Friday, and everything's okay. So, T, I have gotten so much calls and responses from your letter. So, you picked a really good letter last week.
I told you, like, I even reading it, it was just so much fun. I definitely love a kind of menage a trois. What do I do? Lost in love type of Sex in the City type of letter. So, insecure type of
Yes,
letter. I loved it. I love that it was based in Toronto. I feel like a lot of us are going through similar issues with dating and stuff
right,
right now and
right.
relationships. And guess what?
What?
I
What's
got an
up?
update. I got an update. I got an
Yes,
update.
I'm dying. Okay, you have to share. What's the
So,
update?
okay, so she wrote me. I reached out and to the same email that I got received the letter. And normally, we try our best to respect everyone's privacy, but
Now
I
we
let
need
her
to know.
know. Yeah, I let her. I told her like it is. Like we need to know
Right.
what happened. What happened? I needed to know. Everybody called me up. Who didn't call me? DM'd me. Who didn't DM me? Emailed me. Was like, who she choose? Like,
Right,
what
because
happened? Who
there
she
was
choose? What happened?
team John and there was team Fred, right?
Frank. Like, it's so funny.
Carlos.
She commented about you calling him Carlos. I'm gonna read the response that she emailed me, and
Okay.
I think that it's gonna be a little shocking to some people. I think some people will be like, oh, "Really? Not me though." I read this situation like I don't even know who read the best in the world. Like, what is it, Robert Munch? um, he just read, he write all the stories, he read all of them. Like I read
What
it,
about
I read it
Dr.
good.
Seuss? You can read it in a can. You
Dr.
can read it
Seuss.
in a book.
That's speaking of Dr. Zeus, like big up to Max Cosmetics. Not that I'm like being sponsored or anything, but my lip gloss today, I thought it was Grinch, but it's Goldfish. I was just like, I
Well,
want
as
the Grinch.
we're doing big up, I'm promoting Rihanna's lipstick because it was on sale at
Fenty.
Sephora. Yeah, Fendi was
Yeah, Fenty had
on
a good
sale
sale
at
for Black
Sephora.
Friday.
Yeah, Sephora served me well. So thanks, Rihanna. Appreciate it.
Yeah, gotta big up the people
Okay,
who help us.
tell me.
You and your instant gratification. Like, let me tell you how it is. So I will start reading this letter for you. And just let me know if
Okay.
you see me looking down, which is
All
not
right. I'm
normal. I
gonna be like
have
this.
the laptop in front of me this time. So I have Hi, Teen Sue. Um, Thank you for reaching out to me and thanks for the advice. I love watching your show and I love that it's on Sunday nights. When I'm getting ready for bed, I just sit back and be entertained with other people's lives. Girl, I'm with you there. Like, I like the Sunday night life, and I
Yeah.
mean, I'm digging other people's lives right now, like living vicariously. What about you, Sue?
Me too. I like the Sunday nights. I think it's one of those nights where you're just calming down. You have to start the week. This is a good way to start before you go into bed. You get a little something. Get a little juicy tidbit there and there, and it keeps you guessing for the rest of the week.
Most deaf. So I know you have your letter, but I want to give
Yeah.
everybody an update. I think this is the first time we've done an update on a situation. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people were looking to find out what happened in the dilemmas in DNA, I think it was. But
Hmm.
we haven't heard back from her as yet. So we're waiting for that. I have reached out, but anyhow. So Sunday night's gonna take. which is why I wrote in it anyway. So she loves the show, which is why she wrote in it anyways. To get to the point that you asked about, I did make a choice. It probably was a long one because I'm still single. And
Oh.
that break I was talking about from dating right now, I'm on that. I told Frank,
Okay.
then she has open brackets. Oh, BT dubs. Tell Sue that I loved her calling Frank Carlos. Too funny.
Carlos,
Right?
Carlos.
And I hated it. But somebody loved it out there. So, anyways, close brackets. So she told Frank that I was seeing someone um, that was really consistent and wished that we could remain friends. He told me he was really into me, and that glad that Corona happened so that he had more time to get to know me better. But the choice was mine to make. So I guess that's she chose John, people. Like she chose John.
Okay.
And so
Team
he said that
John.
I told you I wasn't sure about that, John, and his amazing times. Anyways. So she's like, okay, let me get back to the letter. So it happened because more time to get to know me, but the choice was mine. So then I talked to John to let him know I was interested in something more and hoped that our thing could become a relationship. He seemed happy, but I found out on Wednesday that he's been seeing someone else the whole time. She's even met all of his family. I tried to reach out to Frank, but he won't answer my calls. My best friend she writes my bestie, works with his cousin, and I asked her to intercede for me. So he sent me a text message today. I'm not sure what date that she's writing this letter. I
Okay.
believe that I received the response on Wednesday, but she just says today. Um, received. So he texted me today telling me that what happened was a shame, but that the same time he wanted to, at the same week that he wanted to talk to me about being an item, that I dumped him. That was my Dear John letter, I guess. And he says that he
Oh.
wishes the best for me and he wishes me happiness. So I got hurt a bit, but I understand. My bestie
Mhm.
says his cuz told her that he used to talk about me all the time, and he was really into me, but he's been hurt by a girl before, and it takes him a little bit of time to show his feelings.
What?
So for me, I'll be living single for a little while more. For your sister and you two are great, and I love watching your show. Thank you. We love that you watch it.
Oh,
Um,
thank you. Carlos
Super
is
glad.
bad. Bad, Carlos, bad. All right, T, I can give you your. Okay, here's words you've probably never heard your whole life me saying something.
Make sure my
Ye-
earbuds are turned down.
make sure it's only gonna happen once.
Mhm.
Wow, this is bitter.
Hold on, hold on.
Hold on, this is taking
News,
a lot.
news flash. Okay, emergency. Emergency update. Now's the time to stay focused.
You were right. I can't do it. I'm sorry, can't do it. This
What?
is some
What? Come
the
on, Gucci. You
ideas
gotta
that
make.
you perceive, the ideas that you perceive in the future predictions happen to be the predictions that occurred. There we go.
I'll take it. I mean, I definitely deserve more. Just saying,
Can't get more. That ain't
but
gonna
I'll take
happen.
it. I definitely like John, and it was good, but there was something about Frank that just was like, I think something more is going on, especially because when the chips fell, he stood up. I feel like,
That's true.
the people who will be around you and are really down for you, they don't need to be in your life necessarily on a daily basis, hellying up when I say helly, I mean like hovering, helicoptering out your life, hellying up your life because they know, like, you peoples, you down. They got you. If the time gets rough, they gotta get you. And a lot of people operate like that to just preserve their own peace and not to burn out. I also suspected, again, that he was just a busy person. And while he was trying to date, it may have been that she had more time on her hand. than he did. And sometimes when you have more time than somebody else has to mingle and for your personal life, we take it as if somebody's neglecting us or not paying us attention. But the fact of the matter is, you just have more time to pay attention than he does. And I feel for women out there who are like, you know, he ain't like you, don't pay him no attention, he ain't mean anymore. We're grown. She doesn't say her age in here completely. I think she said in the original letter that she was in her 30s.
Yeah.
We grown people. We grown people having a fun time out here, living life like it's golden. Yeah, busy. We got bills to pay. You know, we busy. We got that coin to get out there. We want a social life and we want to be happy and you want to have fulfillment with a partner. But let's be honest, you don't always have enough time to do it. So as long as it's quality over quantity, pay attention to what he does, not the amount of time he does it. At the same time, don't be completely neglected. Things. So I'm really sorry that you're single. I would tell you, I go against taking a break. I think
Yeah.
now is the time to continue on that horse and be dating, because if you have the time for it,
Oh,
do it while you have the time. We're not gonna worry about any of that, and just focus on yourself. Pay attention to yourself. A part of self-care is fulfilling our desires and our needs. And if you want to be out and mingling, do that. If you do need to take time and recover because you did take a hit and it hurts you a bit, I mean, take a little time. But
that's okay.
you're dating. It's not that serious. There was no, it's not that serious. Girl, brush it off your shoulder. You too cute to like sit down on a bookshelf. Sue?
And become an end. Well, see, when you were talking about that, I was also thinking about, yeah, I agree with her. I agree with you. She needs to just get back on it and start going back on it, because you never know what could be around the corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you never know how long you have. So, if everybody needs a mourning process, because it was probably a very bitter pill to swallow. And now that you swallow, but I'm listening to that and I'm hearing the reverse. When you're a busy woman and you have to do what you need to do, you gotta take care of your kids, you gotta take care of work, you got demands here, you got demands there. When you meet a man and it is the opposite, they're like, oh, you can't spend enough time with me, you're not doing this, you're considered, it's the negative, you're considered the busybody, you're considered too big for your bridges because you can't, because maybe that guy has more time than you do. And I find that
Yeah.
men don't want to bend in the opposite direction, but I find, why do we have to? Right? Why should we have to be bending and saying, he could also just said, you know what, I'm really, really busy at work. Give us, it's like communication. Again, I didn't see the communication in that whole relationship. If he had just said, I've been really, really busy at work, but I still would like to talk to you and get to know you a little bit more. Because if she didn't know, if she had probably knew that those little words, she probably wouldn't have got. I'm going to get his name wrong, so let it go. I'm going to get gone with Carlos, and she may have paid attention, because I mean, he brought her toilet paper, which I made out of his busy schedule to attend to her, right? So that showed he made that extra effort, but he wasn't consistently making the effort, so she didn't think anything of it, right? But he had just said, I'm really busy with work, give it some time. Maybe it could have, she might not be single right now. She might be waiting to see what something else develops with Frank.
You're definitely onto something there. We definitely have contrasting views. I will so I want to not entirely agree with your statement on like, why do we have to bend? I don't think
Right.
anyone has to bend. If I'm busy, I'm
Nope.
busy. If you don't like the amount of communication or participation I'm having in whatever relationship we have, jump ship. Like, it's cool. Straight. We're not meant to be. So I feel like women have that same opportunity. When you're busy, you don't have that much time to invest into a relationship, and that's okay too. However, I will agree with you on communication is a big part of, anytime you're interacting with other human beings in life, more than a casual walk past each other. If you're going to sit down and conversate and you're mingling, I feel like respect is due. It's sad that people don't have a standard book code of conduct or etiquette when it comes to dating and your obligation to respond to anybody. Like I was listening to the radio last week, and one of the findings was on the date, like you don't have any obligation to somebody that you're dating. Since when? I mean, I have
I
obligations
don't
to
agree with
help.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I have. If you see a dog just run across the street, what do? I ain't got no obligation to that dog. No, you go help.
Mm,
You're like, stop. Let me help this dog. Like, let me get you back across the street safely. Am I wrong?
I may not have run for a dog because I don't like that. So,
You don't like the running part or the dog?
wow. Oh.
Nah, but
Why you gotta go there? Why you gotta go there, T?
okay,
The
fair enough.
dog.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, you guys have a dog, Cindy. You trying to tell me you wouldn't be like, no, Cindy, get back here. Like you wouldn't try to, like you have an obligation. We're human beings. Everyone has feelings. I think when you start dating, you have to acknowledge that somebody is exposing or making their feelings more vulnerable to you just from fact, just from because they're trying to let you in. They're trying to figure out who you are. Is this somebody that I want to go forward, or do I not really like you? Is this somebody I want to have fun with? So the least you could do is communicate your feelings. With that said, we already know men are notoriously known for not expressing their feelings well. And that's not
Yes.
entirely their fault. That's systemically projected on them from birth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even me as a mom of a little boy, I have to be like, when I'm telling him, stop crying. I'd be like, it's okay to cry, but not all the time. But it's okay
Yes, it's
to cry
okay
now.
for Levi to cry with you to come once in a while.
Yeah. So I think it's something that, we have to mediate around. You have to kind of give and take a little bit. Men are not notoriously known for stating all their feelings. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you should be punished for things that happened before you. I just think as women, be mindful about like how much they're showing you. They may
Yes.
they may be showing you less than they feel. That's fair.
That's true.
In her case, he definitely was. I think he was a better guy. I think they would have worked out great. And I totally, you know, I think like maybe a year ago, I would not have agreed with him not really responding to our phone calls and stuff. But I
Hmm.
think I'm realizing like now that might be the way to go. Like not respond and then just send a quick text to be like, listen, you made your choices. I'm done. Maybe the right choice for him was just to say, she didn't choose me, move on and never look back. Maybe he will look back. Who knows? But I mean, in my own personal life, I forgive and I forgive and I forgive and I give second chances because I'm like, well, maybe this is the situation. But I read a quote recently, like the more you forgive is the less respect you get. So it's a balance of respect and forgiveness. If you
Hmm.
forgive, your respect goes down. So if you wanted to
Yeah.
balance, you respect as your respect will be balanced
Yeah.
on how much you forgive. And if you forgive a little less, you respect it a lot more. So sometimes it's best to be like, deuces, it done, and move on.
And speaking of, I don't even have to go to a new letter. It's like 10:30 already.
Okay.
10:20.
Anyways, thanks for responding back.
So
I love hearing updates. Everybody wanted
thank
to know
you. We appreciate it.
she chose Frank.
What happened? So yeah, definitely.
Our new
Yes.
letter. Our new
Yay.
letter.
Okay. I'll read it since I have her new letter. I'm going to read it. Ready? Okay. So 3 years ago, I met a guy online site for dating, and we became close. In the beginning, he told me that he was in an open relationship with a woman, and he wanted me to meet her. I agreed. Since I wasn't looking for anything serious, I met the girl, and she was having and and I have become the best of friends. When I'm hanging out with her guys, she's okay with it because she has another special friend she kicks it with. We are all okay in the current arrangement until I got more serious about the guy and I realized I was falling in love with him. He's a great provider. He's a great dad. Not just with to his own kids, but to my son. And looked into his eyes, I felt like telling me that he's telling me the truth. He says he loves me and the other girl too. But this is his bond with me but is his bond with me stronger, and she admits that she's in love with him as well. But she needs him in her life until she gets on her feet and can take care of herself. He has been telling me that we need to have a future together, but I don't know if I believe him or if I'm just holding on for hope or being a fool. I got caught up in something I thought I could handle, but the open relationship no longer works for me. And I want to tell him myself, but I always want to keep our relationship with this main girl. Also
Mm-hmm.
trying to not to be hurt. So if he is playing games with me, playing me along, sorry, just so I won't leave him, he won't he has the best of both worlds. And if he gets together, he might not want to be in a committed relationship. What should I
Mm-hmm.
do? Um, Signed a friend. And it was in a question mark.
Friends. Hmm. That's my kind of letter, yo. Like, I ain't gonna lie. My kind of letter. So you gonna break it down? I think you should break it down.
Okay. So I like the fact originally that he told her right off the bat, yo, I'm seeing another woman, right? Are
Yeah.
you okay with an open relationship? She seems to be okay with an open relationship. So, and she even went to one step further to say, I want to meet this woman who's the other woman. And then she's like, wait, I like her too. So that kind of to me was right there as a complication because you're in an open relationship. It's like, remember that TV show you used to love, Big Love? That's what it reminds me of.
I loved Big Love though. Big
Yeah,
Love
I
was
know you
good.
did. That's what I'm like. It reminds me of Big Love. But I'm like, okay, so, and since she wasn't looking for anything serious, um, and then the girl had another guy on the side. So is that an open relationship? Is that an orgy?
Definitely just open.
Just
I
asking.
think I need to let you go to like sexuality school and stuff. Like it's definitely open. Like you're the one who states what your relationship is, and he's
Right,
identified his relationship as an open relationship. He's let her know from the get go. I
right.
think that's great. I don't think there's anything wrong with an open relationship as long as you have two consenting adults or four or how many are in it. Everyone's consenting and fully aware. Um, so I think that's peace that hey, I'm in an open relationship. I really like you. Are you down? Yeah, I don't know. I've never been in that before, but yeah, let's try him down. Cool. Like you good, I'm good. That's another part of why I like this letter. I like transparency. Just
Right.
no funnel. Just feed it to me. No filter. Just feed it to me. Let me know what's good. If you telling me that this is what it is right out the bat, I just love how tell me if I'm wrong, Sue. Like men can basically say, this is what it is and this is what I want very easily. But if I walk into a room and be like, hey, this is what it is, I want to be married in 3 years, this month, if they're like, oh my goodness, back up. Like it's
Yeah.
just too much.
You're, well, it was nice talking with you. I gotta go. Yeah, get some air in my tires. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll see you.
But if a guy comes along and says, well, I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship, it's an open relationship, so we're cool with seeing other people. I really like you. Are you down? It's okay. But I'm just saying about a double standard that's in society because I think so far the way he's gone about this relationship totally copacetic. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, it gets complicated because then she's actually developed feelings for him and she wants it to be more serious, right? Hence where
I
the
mean,
complication lies.
I wish she established what she meant about more serious because I mean there's polygamy and polyandrous relationships. So and I mean they're like married, they're common law partnerships between more than one person.
Right?
Excuse me. So I wonder if it's actually common law because, or like common law, I should say, because common law I don't think establishes more than one partner. It's still a one partner. So similar to one like a common law relationship, but it is a partnership with multiple people, and it's almost like a marriage. So I don't think it's something that can't be more serious if she wanted it. I think what she's saying, and tell me if you're, tell me if I'm wrong, that she wants him and him alone. Like she no longer wants it to be open. And there is some jealousy over the other relationship that he started off with,
Yeah.
by the way, that you came into, by the way. I think that's what she's saying, because I'd have been happier if she wasn't saying this, but I feel like she's saying, like, I want him to myself now because
Well,
she
and
said something. Go ahead.
yeah, and she said in the letter, it's like he said he feels serious with her too. He's also, I think she's looking at the general person that he is. She says he's not only great with my son, but with his kids too, right? Which is always a good thing. But he's now saying, well, I'm also serious with the other girl too. So, but she feels that it's a stronger bond between the two of them rather than the girl that she's gotten to know. So this I read this, like, huh? How does this work? Because you have now two people wanting the same man, but you knew what you were walking into when you started it. So you can't be angry at the situation. You have to kind of say, okay, who you going to pick? Wait, this is sounding like the letter in reverse, T. I just realized that. It's the same letter, only in reverse in a different way.
But
Teeny
definitely
tiny bit.
different.
Except
Yeah.
communication is there in this letter.
Yeah, but
Go
definitely
ahead.
different. Definitely different. I mean, the part where he's like, I want to be with you, and she's like, well, I can't have you leave me. I'm caught up and I need you to be with me a little longer until I get on my feet. There's definitely
Yeah,
love there in
yeah,
both things. Like, say he loves one more than the other. I think he would be perfectly fine with staying with both forever, to be honest. But I think because the new partner is like just friends, that friends with a
hmm,
question is pulling him in a direction that he may not necessarily want to go. Because the truth is, let me tell you how it is. Don't nobody stay where they don't want to be. No
true.
one stays when they don't want to be there. They will leave. So if he's not saying, I no longer want to be with her, it's very likely that the love that he's found with you now is giving him enough turmoil to make him rethink staying with her. I don't necessarily think that he just doesn't want to be with her anymore, but that could be a part of it. I don't want to negate that people's feelings change because we're evolving human beings, and your feelings change as you go on. You love
Yeah,
once and then you love again, and then, you know what I'm saying? It progresses, and maybe he was happy where he was, thinking that was, the best it's going to get, and then he found you and it got even more. He got fantastic. So I'm not saying his feelings can't change. I'm just saying, if it's not his choice, so far we've heard in this letter that it's getting serious and she wants something more. He hasn't expressed something more, but he's willing to say, I don't want to lose you, so I may have to leave. And the original girlfriend, or the first girlfriend, let's call her girlfriend number one and girlfriend number two. I ain't gonna call people
okay.
Carlos, but
No
I'm gonna
Juanita
say
this
girlfriend
week.
number two. No, Anita. No, Anita. But yeah. So I would be mindful, because there's also a little saying that the way you get them is the way you lose them, honey girl.
That is
So
true.
be mindful of pulling him out of a situation that he may not necessarily want to. But Sue, you're right. Communication. This is something I think in this case the three of them should be talking about, because it is an open relationship, and she also started kicking it with homegirl and was cool. So they are all in this relationship together. It's
Yeah.
definitely polyandrous. So I don't think it's just an open relationship. I think they're practicing polygamy.
I agree. I think the fact that, like I always say, like a way to a woman's heart is how they treat your children, right? If they
Mm.
see that you're treating your children with like respect and being there for your kid, and then you're also seeing, like in the letter, she says he's also there for his kids as well. And I don't know, I'm not dissing all the males out there, but y'all sometimes have like a lot of baby daddies who don't acknowledge their children or support children or take their children. So I think the fact that he's even take she's must have had some interaction with seeing him with his kids as well. So that tells me at least he's a man who's willing to, he's not going anywhere. Because if you're investing in the kids, you're not going to really go someplace you don't want to be for a long period of time. That's just me. What do you think, T? Well, I see the look on the face. So go say what you need to say.
No. Honestly, I just, number one, the weight of my heart is not through my child. Like, my
Yeah.
child is my heart already. So it's always a bonus if you get along well, but that's not the weight of my heart. You're not going past. There's a gate that will never be open if you don't get along well and you're not good to my child. But it's not, I don't want people to use people's children to manipulate them, or to present false realities to them. Um, but it's great. See, this is another thing, because everybody's into everybody's kids. I think that it's not an open relationship. I think that they're practicing a very polyandrous relationship, and it seems to be healthy enough to introduce them to your kids. But when you do introduce them to children, we are talking about blending people, exposing children to different realities that are against the social norms, or that don't necessarily run in the flow of social norms, that could
Mm-hmm.
be presenting different realities to them that are not necessarily supported in society. All I want to say about that is that if that is the case and everyone's meeting everybody as daddy's girlfriends, I think there needs to be a lot of conversation about that particular type of relationship. I definitely think they all need to be on the same page, which I don't think they are right now. And I think they should leave the children out of it for right now until they get on a page. And I think they should have been very committed, especially with this particular type of relationship, before the children were introduced to anybody or exposed to that kind of relationship. Not that anything's wrong with that kind of relationship. There's no judgment here. And I can sound kind of judgy, so I've been told. But I'm not judging it.
You?
And if I am,
Oh, not you, T. Never. Oh, oh,
you know what? Whatever. Whatever.
You do got to remember in the beginning. You have to remember they've been together now 3 years ago. So this is 3 years of being in a relationship. So
Hmm.
this isn't something that's new. Like you were saying, I don't want to introduce a kid. That's probably why the kids got introduced, because they've been together for 3 years in a what's the threesome called? The truffle.
They're the truffle. Yeah, the kerthruffle. They're not
Truffle.
okay. So I just want to say this. I don't think, and I know this is not the popular view, that time is a proper determinant of when you should necessarily expose children to your relationship. I think commitment level is the correct determinant, because this couple may have been together for 3 years. They are not on the same page in this letter as they presented. And they have not outlined in this letter as they presented any clear commitment to each other. And that's my issue, right? If we are not in a very committed, binded relationship where we know we are building a life together, I would limit the exposure the children have to my relationship, mainly because it is outside of societal norms. Like, I have way too much saliva in my mouth right now. Thanks. To be saying all these words, societal norms, and that can lead for a lot of, you know what? I can't with you today, Susan. Like, I can't. But it will lead to a lot of
What?
questions that are not supported by positive societal views. So, and that's what I'm saying. If they even wanted to seek understanding, they're not going to have a support system that is, you know, knowledge based enough to support them through that particular situation. Because the fact of the matter is, if it's even out there and it's quite common, it's not what is the social ideal or socially accepted as an
Norm.
ideal
Yeah.
relationship. So the likeliness is less people know how to support children through that. And because of that, you need to make sure that the adults in the relationship are fully equipped and prepared to support the children through that transition of understanding and knowing and feeling comfortable with this, with living within that kind of relationship. Because I don't hear this, it's very incohesive. She's with him, I joined, we liked each other, but now I want it to be more serious and I just want it to be him and me. And he's saying, like, I fell in love with you more too, and I want to be away from her. I wonder how close that relationship was and how committed they were to each other. And again, I say each other because there are three of them. And for 3 years, has daddy just had two girlfriends? Or have they been like, and they spend time together? It's very complicated. That's all I have to say. Very complicated. There needs to be a whole lot of communication with educated people who know what they're talking about. And yeah, like that's what I have to say about that as far as the children. But I mean, getting along with children as adults, there's nothing wrong. I don't think any adult is gonna get a bad name or like go to hell for vibing with a kid. Like you want to be there for a
Yeah.
kid and
Yeah.
like be good to that child. You're a great person.
Yeah.
There's
Um,
nothing ever wrong with that.
I feel that this letter comes down to the basic necessities of needs of life, right? Everybody has their own needs and wants what they're looking for. Sometimes it's clear as day, and sometimes it's as black as mud, right? And it's just the need of, she knew she was in a relationship with somebody else. They met, they like each other. But the girl's also she also has I guess, a sidekick for whatever it sounds like on another part of that. Because that letter
It ha-
also says she has. So to me, it's like how serious you can be in a serious relationship and be dealing, because that is the relationship they have created and decided on. It's just like married people these days. Some married people can't afford to they get a divorce, but they can't afford to move out from each other's house because they can't pay off each other. So what do? They live in a united house. One lives in the top, one lives in the bottom, but they're still living separate lives, even though, and they're trying to be with their children to make their children work to have some kind of stability for their kids. So I think that in a relationship like this, where you have there's still that communication, because she knows about the about the man, about the girlfriend's person. We don't know if it's a woman or a man. So they're the person, and she's just saying, I now want to be in this commitment with him. Either go and tell him I only want us and not her. So somewhere along the line, some feelings is gonna get hurt somewhere. It's either he's gonna say no, I like the status quo where it is, or yes, I want to be with
yeah.
you and you only, and we be together forever. And his love is so grand, and we kick the other one out the garbage, and we go have lunch in the baguette in Paris. Yes, yes, all is wonderful. Love, love. No, that is not the reality of life. We're not on Sex in the City. So, who do you think you are on Sex in the City? Really? You are not
Yo.
Samantha.
I don't even want to be Sex and the City. I'll be on Insecure.
That's true. I, I want to
I
be
got black girl
Samantha.
problems. I got black girl problems. um, Let me just say this. So A, I totally love when you go into that like Parisian accent type of whatnot. Just, I want to be in Paris with all of that. Like, keep on doing that. You should do that all the time. We'd have a better relationship if you were just to speak like a Parisian that's not really a
Wow.
Parisian.
So is that for our next therapy session with the strength? Like, we need to talk
I
about
don't know.
our next lesson?
I don't like it. Just it sounds more lovey-dovey when it's in French. Well, that wasn't really French, but like, with a really bad French accent. Like
Oh,
I just love that.
but of
But
course, madame.
yeah, like okay, there's just so much to be said. There's so much to be said. One of the comments that I'm hearing online is just like, with the children, there definitely needs to be a talk with the three people involved. And I think that's right, especially after 3 years, it's likely somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Um, and she's unhappy, and if she's unhappy, she needs to say something. I think at this point, everyone has an obligation to somebody. But I just remembered what I had to say at the beginning. It's an open relationship. Don't dog the other girl for having another partner too. She's allowed to. It's an open relationship. She's allowed to, and that's what they have. And there's no hurt feelings in if you know and you communicate, and it's maybe what they want. Are you voguing?
No, open relationship. Like it's not inside.
I
It's
said
not.
vogue.
I wasn't voguing. No, I wasn't. That's the macaroni. No, I wasn't voguing. I was just saying. I was trying to say it's not like a box. So the box is like expanded, right?
Let's
It's
throw
not
out
a
the boxes.
little like it's not a little box. It's
Throw
out.
out the
These
boxes.
people are thinking outside the box, right?
Yeah, throw
Because
out the boxes.
how many places, how many people hi, I'm in an open relationship. This is my friend. This is my other friend.
You'd be surprised to know how many people are probably in an open relationship that you just don't know about it. One,
True.
in any type of relationship, when we're talking about a relationship, you don't owe an explanation to anybody outside of that relationship. What you have is between you. Whatever understanding that you have is between you. We have married people who live like basically the word I'm looking for. Okay, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that word because I know I want to say the polite word for what I'm gonna say, but we have many different type of relationships out there.
Okay.
And just because we don't know and we're not introducing people, because again, it is against societal norms of like man and woman. I mean, honestly, I feel like people of the LGBTQ, I know I'm probably not saying all the letters, but I probably have issues with with outside people defining their relationships, and that type of relationship is still only starting to become the norm in like the 21st century to be acceptable norms too, right? There was a time in the 50s where you could go to jail for having a male relationship and stuff like that. So people don't necessarily advertise relationships that are against the societal norms just for social currency. People will look down at you. So no, you don't want to be known as the one with two committed girlfriends or two committed husbands or partners in life, because people will look at you and their kids might not want to come to your house, or they might not want to send their kids to your house because again they'll be exposed to a different type of relationship and then they'll have to talk about it. So I'm not going to say like, I just don't want to knock it. Whatever floats your boat, people, do that. Like what makes you happy? It's YOLO. You only live once. It's a short time. Do what you got to do. I just think it needs to be communication because nobody should be getting hurt in a relationship. And because he did introduce this relationship as an open relationship, I think he also needs to have a separate conversation with the first girlfriend, and their conversation needs to be more private because they established their relationship first and it's their relationship being open. And if that changed from openness because they've been together for 3 years and they've all spent time together, at some point, I think that relationship transitioned from open to polyandrous. And at that point, there needed to be another conversation to be like, well, we're all here. This is big love. What are we saying to each other? How committed are we to each other? And if her feelings have changed, like, I don't necessarily like this situation again, it does need to be talked about, and it definitely needs to be talked about the two people in it, like the two people who started it. But please don't judge her. No, well, two people started it and they now have separate partners. Hold on, I should have been like, two people started it and now they have separate partners. And these two partners became these three partners, and this person still has their partner here. So why do I feel like Sue on the sex show? Do you remember that show where it's like sex talk with Sue late at night, and she always had the little dollies to like
Sue Johansson, Dr. Sue.
Dr. Sue. So yeah, me with the hands just like girl, totally Dr. Sue. But the point is like a conversation, people. Conversation is key. So what's your question? Like, he tells me he loves me and he needs me to look into his eyes, like look into his eyes.
Yeah. So the question she's asking is, do you think I should have a serious talk with him to see what's up, or just move on to find a man who doesn't have multiple women?
He doesn't have multiple women. Well, I guess so, but
He does have multiple women.
I guess so. Um, but yeah, I think that you should be talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to be in an open relationship with him where he is open and you are not, then you shouldn't be in one. But that doesn't mean him leaving his relationship, his other relationship. And they need to talk about if they want to split up. But yeah, you should be talking to him. I don't even know why you started in an open relationship, because it doesn't sound like you ever wanted to be in it. I do think you fell into something with this guy and you always had a hope that he would just choose you, but I don't think it was a just choose me type of state. And I particularly don't like when women do this to other women, to be honest, to tell you like it is. If a man tells you, if a partner, a human being tells you, hey, I'm in an open relationship, that relationship still needs to be respected, even if you decide to join it. You don't get to piggyback off of somebody's relationship hoping to take them out of it. That's not fun. That's not what life is about. Have more class. I guess I sound judgy. I know why people tell me that now.
You sound judgy.
Like, I guess it's a little bit judgy.
The person is guilty. It didn't
Well, I'm
sound
just
judgy.
telling
It
it.
was judgy. So for
I'm
me,
just
it's the
telling
total
it like
opposite. I feel like I'm telling you like it is. You decided you wanted to try something. You tried it. You liked it. It worked for you at the time. It filled the need in your life that you needed that particular situation that could actually work for you. Because this woman sounds like to me, she's willing to try things. She's willing to go to different avenues to look for a need that needed to be filled. She was okay. She found a friendship in the woman, the first woman, and she's connecting with that woman. She knows what she's all about. You know what she's all about, and you know what he's all about. So there's not that, oh, well, if he's not home, like, oh, I can't talk, oh, she's on the other line. Can I call you back? Or he's not making up excuses going, yeah, hi, baby. Like, no, I'm here with Kelly. Oh, hi, Kelly. Okay. Yeah, do you want to go have lunch later? All right, later. Okay, babe. We're just gonna have a little intimate time. We'll call you back later. And they're okay with it. So for me, I feel that if you're okay, you've accepted that situation and you're okay with it, then if you are communicating, because you must have been talking, still keep that communication going, saying, wait, I got feelings now. This is getting serious. I do agree with you, T. The first two people who started should go back and say, you know what, it just so happens I had feelings. I didn't end up that way, but it is. I want to be with you. And if you don't want to be with me, okay. But at least you've had the talk and you're okay. You can walk away with it saying, at least I tried to say, this is how I felt. And if it doesn't work, how do you know that the two girls don't get together?
I don't think you do know, but I do want to say thanks for everybody to watching.
Yeah.
And
thanks, you guys. We're out of time again. We always run out of time. I swear we could do this for like another hour or so. So the show can be heard on Barbados Radio Network on platforms 122. This is the H.E.R Network from Barn Birth Network. Please check us out. Follow the news, follow the prep, hear it, watch it, learn it. Watch back our show 1,000, 1,500, 4,000 times. We really like it. So again, T, thanks. I think we had a good letter too. I would love for her to call back. I'm kind of curious to see what happens, to see what
I don't know what's happening. I'm not sure what's happening with your volume. But again, thanks for tuning in, and let us tell you how it is. Communicate and leave that situation if you don't want to be in it. But if he stays, he stays. And if he comes with you, he comes with you. Let it be transparent, and both parties need to know. Thanks for watching.
Yes. And we would like to know. Thanks guys. We'll see you again.
Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for all your comments. You can email me at taliciaw58@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter. You can send comments underneath on YouTube under Barn Burner Network TV. See you next week.